Hey guys, welcome to the Maps Journey podcast. I'm not used to being on this side of the camera, so it's kind of.
Are we on? Are we doing
Yeah, we are. I guess we're doing this.
I just want to go. You want? Okay.
Okay, let's do it.
All right.
I'm not used to being on this side of the camera, so I'm like a little bit self-conscious. But
Nah, you're great.
I'm here with the pro,
No, not really.
Joe Silva.
You're the one who
always.
got me into this. You know.
Well, that's true.
You honestly did, and that's well. First of all, just to start, you know, we haven't done this in several weeks.
Yeah.
Just scheduling and time and just
Life
so
is
much
tough.
going on
Yeah.
in life. But yeah, so we just wanted to get together on this gloomy Sunday.
Nor'easter.
Yeah, nor'easter coming through, expecting storms as we're looking out the window. It's-
No trees yet coming
yeah,
down.
No trees have come through the window. But no, yeah, actually, I think, Alec, what I wanted to do was, the whole purpose, again, of Maps Journey is to talk to people who are on their life journey. We're
Yeah.
all on a journey.
That's right.
And again, MAPS is mental, attitude, physical, spiritual, just an acronym for those,
Yep.
you know, those four things: mental, attitude, physical, spiritual. And we all need maps in life.
That's it.
And, you know, we're following this map in life, and we're on this journey. So the whole idea is to talk to people about, you know, where they're at,
Yeah.
you know, what they've been through. And like I just said, alluded to earlier, you're the one who kind of got me into this whole thing. And I want to say it was like in
Gosh.
like 2016.
Yes.
And I was posting things on Facebook
Yep.
and social media, and you had approached me about the idea of maybe doing a podcast.
Yep.
And I'm like, nobody wants to listen to me. What do I have to share? And initially, the first idea was to get Mike Franzese.
Right.
We actually even had
Involved,
a
yeah.
call with him, and then just logistically, is that the right word? Logistically?
Yeah.
It
We tried to
didn't
make
get-
we
yeah.
tried to make him an offer that he couldn't refuse,
Yeah.
but he refused.
He refused. And it you know, him being on the West Coast, us being
Yeah,
on the
it's
East
tough.
Coast, it was just difficult. And then I believe what happened was I was at Ronnie and Lori's house.
Right.
And I had made a comment about something. I said a word. I think it was Syracuse or syrup on pancakes. And they laughed at how I said syrup. And then I think Amy.
Yes. My wife, Amy.
Yeah, Amy. We ended up calling her the president. She was the one who said, "Well, why doesn't Ronnie
Right.
and Joe do a podcast?" And that's how the Jersey Boys
yeah.
got started. So that really was credited to Amy as a result of that.
Yeah,
And we did. I think we started doing it in 2017.
2017.
Which is crazy how time flies.
No, it is crazy.
Yeah.
And it's still, believe it or not, it was a great learning experience. I know I learned a lot from it. You guys would just be, you already had a story, you already had your personality, but it was just cool to see you guys make it available to everyone.
Yep.
But to this day, I go on Facebook or any of our platforms that we still have the Jersey Boys on, and we get multiple viewings still.
Yeah, and
Still.
and I think we'll eventually get back to, you know, maybe doing that a couple of times. You know, it's still not dead.
No.
It's just, you know, busy. I'm doing things. You're doing things. Ronnie's very busy with his stuff. But you know, we'll do a couple of you know, shows again, and even until that time, probably have Ronnie on as a guest on Maps Journey.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And
It'd be
talk
great.
about things. But yeah, we had a great time doing that, and it was again going through a lot of different crazy times. I mean,
Sure.
difficult times. You know, the loss of my dad in 2017. I remember we did the 2 days after my dad had passed away. We did the episode at Tommy's Taste of Italy.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
so
right.
that was in December of 2017.
Yeah, amazing.
So coming up on 8 years ago already, right? 8 years? Coming up on 8 years? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but through it all, you know, there's been so many ups and downs, you know, COVID, then, you know, the loss of Marianne and so many other things that have happened since that time. But you got the nickname The Bean, right? I'm Joey the Rash. Ronnie was Ronnie A, but then eventually, I don't even think we were doing the podcast at the time. It was towards the very end of our podcast.
Right.
He got known as Ronnie Bidet because he was in love with bidets.
And we never got that. You using
Yeah,
one.
I mean, he bought it, but we never actually I've actually used it. So
Let me just make sure we see we're on frame.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
but
Oh, you can't. Okay.
anyway, so but you got the nickname the Bean.
The bean. The bean.
Right? Yeah, and tell the audience why that is.
Well, it's an ode to my heritage. Colombian. I'm a Colombian American, first generation here in the States. Parents came here in the 60s. Really, the American dream, a lot of the dreams that you hear about, people coming and really making something of themselves, and that's my dad and mom's story. So Colombian American, Coffee Bean, the Bean.
Yeah.
Now Bean Studios, which is the
Studios,
official, I'm getting that actually created for content and technology supported production. So it's been a journey.
Yeah, and again, we wouldn't have done it without you because your expertise. And, well, no, listen, you've come a long way.
Yeah.
You've learned so much, and you've gotten so much better over the years. But still,
Yep.
I never would have done it.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
Ronnie probably wouldn't have done it either without your influence and your ability and your willingness to want to learn and you know to get the equipment and everything.
We all bring things to the table.
Yeah.
Right?
So we had a good time, and you know we'll pick up doing some of that again in the future.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, you know this whole MAPS journey, this came to be, and you know we're going to see how this goes, and you know we'll continue to do it when we can, and hopefully bring some good information that's going to be helpful and encouraging to people.
Yes.
But they've learned about my story. They know about a lot of the stuff that you know I've gone through.
Yep.
So why don't you tell people out there a little bit about yourself? You know,
Yeah.
your background. You know, your experience in life and what you go through.
No, I think
in life.
We were talking off camera when we were planning some future episodes, and I know I started getting into it, and I know that's why Joe had said, "Oh, you probably should share." So I will preface this to say that love this country. I'm a very proud American, very proud New Jerseyan.
Yes, Jersey
part
boy.
of the Jersey boys. I'm very proud to Jersey boy. But it really comes, like I said, I go back to my parents coming from Colombia, really giving up everything to come here and to struggle and to sacrifice. And my parents, I mean, I so many stories, but it really was a sacrifice for them. In fact, I was showing my kids where we used to live. I grew up in Hackensack, pretty much born and raised till like I was 16 in Hackensack. So where we lived, and they were like, "You lived in that tiny place in a 2-bedroom apartment with 5 kids and parents."
You made it work.
No, my parents, they gave everything up for us for me to be able to do this, even to be able to live in, I guess you could say, you know, in a higher standard and to work in like a white collar kind of thing.
Yep.
I'm in IT. So very thankful to them. And that I can't start or can't share any story of mine without first acknowledging and giving them credit and God credit, because they came to this country without a personal relationship. They had a very cultural Catholic relationship, and they came and they found people that had a personal relationship with Christ. What a difference that made. People weren't just, it wasn't part of who they were. It was who they were, right? In Christ in the center. So they totally gave us that example day after day. I would catch, and it was a challenge for me because I want to do the same thing for my kids and for anyone. I would catch my dad every morning reading and praying at the kitchen table at 6:30 in the morning. And he wasn't doing it for me to see. That was his time.
Yep.
So those kind of things you don't ever forget. And and there's struggles too. You know, going to the MAPS acronym, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, mental, attitude, physical, spiritual. A lot of these things, my father, without Christ, honestly, it would be pretty much a stereotype.
Yeah.
Without Christ, you know, someone that works hard, gets discouraged, gives up everything, would easily, anybody, right, in his shoes, without even excusing that, would probably be alcohol or leaving the family or being abusive, all those kind of things. And it would have been like, yeah, that makes sense. But he had Christ, and it made all the difference. Yeah. So mentally, I think I'm a work in progress. I'm no...
well, we all are.
I can't say that I have... My answer is Christ, right? I can't say I can do... Obviously, there's things that through the Word, they shows us these disciplines. But my answer is Christ because, again, like Joe said, we're all works in progress, right? So mentally, for me, was focusing your attention in Christ, starting your day first with Christ, which also will change your attitude, right? Because someone had mentioned to me, that they start the day, not because it's so easy to start the day with praying and asking, right? I mean, we fall into that. Everybody falls into that. But how about we start the day with thanking? Yeah. Thank you, God, for
gratitude.
Breathe. Yeah. We could breathe again. We have a bed to get out of, right? We have a house that we could kneel and pray. We have food that we can have, So I think that changes your mental state and your attitude. As far as physical, I'm a work in progress.
Yeah, but we both say we both could do a better job when it comes to getting ourselves physically fit and trying to keep ourselves physically fit, because that does affect your attitude and your mindset.
Of course, yeah.
But I remember there was a time you got really heavy, and then you lost an extremely an extreme amount of weight. I mean, what was that? How you were like? That was like back. We were still going to Cornerstone.
Yeah. So that's a good thing. It's like I like to share that story, but in some ways I don't want it to be. It's a good example of what the steps you need to take, but I got to retake them honestly because I got to get there.
Yeah,
but
it's okay.
At age 40, I didn't really my kids were still young. This is like 15 years ago, a long time ago. And I just felt like I was tired all the time. I felt I was not present in their lives. I felt like, and honestly, if I had kept that same routine, who knows if I'd still be here, because it was really not going well. Yeah. And again, that goes back to your mental and your attitude, because if we're not careful, especially the enemy just wants you to feel defeated. And I think a lot of things, again, like talking to my dad, he could have easily gone to alcohol. He could have easily gone to leaving the family or anger, abuse. And the dog's
we got Finn over here trying to.
Nice dog. So I was kind of very, very lackadaisical. There you go.
Lackadaisical.
That's today's word.
That's word of the week.
That's right.
Word of the week. Lackadaisical.
That's right. And it catches up with you. So at age 40, I didn't like it. I actually, this is not sponsored. Well, they could sponsor us if they want, Weight Watchers.
Hey, we're looking for sponsors. Come on, we're looking for some sponsors.
I'm okay with that. So I said, you know what? My work was having a program that, they were paying for some of it.
I never knew that. You did it through Weight Watchers?
Yeah, that was part of it. Wow. So I was like, you know what? This is not going to work. I'm just going to do just not do anything, and let's see how it works. I was very kind of defeated. And I joined Weight Watchers, and they kind of just basically, I haven't looked at it recently, but at that point, it was just showing you what the portions you should try, the foods that you should, be aware of, nothing crazy. And my diet and my physical fitness was so bad that just by stopping the obvious things, like soda, just really stuff that everyone knows everyone knows what you should be eating. And doing a little more like walking, I lost like 20 pounds like the first month or month and a half. And I'm like, I'm like, what? This is actually working. And that just kind of kept on going. Yeah. And I would tell anybody to this day, and I did some 5Ks. I did couch potato 5K. I started running, and I hated running. I played soccer, but I used to hate running even back in high school. And all I would say when people ask me, oh, you love running? I'm like, I don't really love running. I love finishing. What does that mean? That means the feeling of accomplishment, the feeling that you are doing something that you never thought. I remember I broke down in tears. I ran, this is probably like 10 years ago. I ran we have a little place down the shore. I ran from there to the beach. It was 7 miles. And I went, down Route 9, down the beach, not in the Cape May area, and over to the Barrier Islands to a town called Sea Isle City. I ran that whole way, and I ran up the bridges, because all the barriers, you go over this big bridge to get to the island. And I got to there, and I saw the islands and the ocean, and I just couldn't believe it that I had made it. Yeah. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like, I ran without stopping, like 7 whatever miles it was. It was a bit, and that's what fuels you, just this feeling of accomplishment.
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to challenge you right now on camera. You're going to have to join me on my legacy walk.
Yes.
I'd like to have somebody walk with me, and then we can record it along the way.
I've always, and Joe knows this, every time he does it, I'm like, oh, Joe, where are you going? How are you going? And like, no matter where I was, I'm always like texting Joe, hey, where are you now? Because in my thank you, because I want to do it. I'm going to do it. I don't know if I can do it the whole time, but I'm going to be there
Well,
for him.
hey, you could do a portion of it, like do half of it with me or something.
And we're going to do a live. We'll probably do live some and do some video for the podcast because obviously it's for a cause, right? What's the cause we want to share?
Well, we're going to do it for Legacy Minded Ministries. I mean, that's something that I've been involved with, most people know, for a long, long time, since the inception, since 2008.
Yep.
But this will be the third year of doing the Legacy Walk.
Right.
So this will be the third time doing it, and it's just to help raise money for Legacy Minded Ministries.
Sure.
But I encourage people just to do a legacy walk for whatever they want to do it for, whoever they want to do it for. It could be a loved one who's passed on. It could be someone who, a child that they just want to encourage them. Hey, listen, look what I'm doing.
Yep.
As your dad or as your mom. I'm going out and I'm walking, and I'm doing it for you and for your future and things like that. So it could be whatever you want to do it for. It doesn't have to be for Legacy Minded Ministries.
No, that's great. And I'm going to do it. When is the date? When are you going to be doing it?
Well, it's going to be sometime in November. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if November 14th, that was our anniversary, is on a Saturday. But whatever a Saturday in November. Like maybe that in the first, second week of November.
I'm so impressed with, and Amy, my wife, she got into running and she was a beast. She would run and she hurt her ankle and stopped running, but she's going to get back into it now. But she was just a beast running. And she always reminds me, like whenever we see people running or we hear Joe, like you're doing this, we're like, oh, we're watching. We're like, oh, we want, because I'll tell you, if you're watching this today and you're like, there's no way that I'm going to even be able to walk to the mailbox, don't put yourself down. Because you know what? And not to get too spiritual about it, but the person that wants you to believe that, the person that's putting you down is no one else but the enemy, right? God is not going to put you down that way. You give it to him. He does so much. And this podcast is also about people's stories that God, time and time again, how God shows up, and that's powerful. So physicality wise, very important. Obviously, we're a work in progress. We're going to do some physicality in a month or so.
I mean, that'll be fun. So really just picking a date sometime in November. Let me see. November 3rd is a Monday. So November.
The next is
the
Monday.
31st is Friday. Halloween is Friday. So the 1st. So 7 is 8. Then 7 after that is what, the 15th?
Yeah. So
it might have been like the 15th.
Okay. All right.
Saturday the 15th.
And you do, what is the mileage this year?
This year it's going to be 33 miles.
Oh my gosh.
But it's okay. I mean, you can just do as much as you can.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's why, I studied exercise physiology in college.
Yep.
And, I'm all about, lifting and going to the gym. And I've done 2 full marathons, 3 half marathons. But when you run, I think 4 times your body weight hits your knees. 6 times your body weight hits your hips.
Yeah.
So walking has become such a very popular, more popular now than ever, I think.
No, true.
But I've also really found it to be so good for me because I get up early in the morning.
Yeah.
I go outside. I can walk, bring up the speed a little bit, maybe
you break a sweat a little
break
bit.
a sweat a little bit, go up an incline, but I'm not killing myself. I'm not putting that kind of stress on my knees and my hips. So unless somebody has a physical situation like handicap or something like that, then pretty much anybody can walk. Even if it's to go out, like walk down the street, walk back, walk to the mailbox, start small and then build into it.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
So it's a lot easier for me to walk 33 miles than it would be doing a marathon, so where I'm running or jogging.
No, that's when I did Couch Potato 5K, that's exactly the premise. Is like there's no way I was going to run 3 miles or 5K, 3 point something miles, and they had you walking for 5 minutes, run for 1 minute. Yep. Same thing. You take it slow. Yeah. What I think is, and again, take it. I'm learning this as well. Is that you just got to get moving. That's it. And I am quite active still. I just played pickleball the other day. We'll have to get you out playing pickleball.
Yeah, I've never done that actually.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
I hear so much about it,
it's so much fun.
but I've never played it.
And just keeping active.
Where did you play?
A friend of mine had at his local community center. They just built a new gym, and we did it inside, and it was so much fun. And you sweat. Same thing. You sweat a little bit. You move a little bit. your community, have community with some guys, and it's just a great.
That's awesome.
So I think physicality-wise, just get moving. That's all.
Yeah.
You could. What I don't want to get on a soapbox, but what I see a lot of times, and I've done it, is that you say, okay, today's the day I'm going to be physical, and you try to go run 2 miles.
Yep.
I see it all the time.
Like
even like in the summertime, you ever see it? Some guy our age, I mean, God bless them, but they're running like at noon on a summer's day, and you can tell they're trying to get into shape. It's like, maybe that's fine for him, but I think you just got to do what works for you. And just
you know what I agree with you on that. But what I see a lot of times is when I go to the gym.
Yeah.
And this is again, it's ignorance. I think is the biggest enemy.
Yeah.
People just don't know. They don't do their homework. They don't read. They hear somebody or they watch somebody on a YouTube channel and they say, oh, you got to go out and you got to run. Or you got to go lift heavy weights.
Yeah.
And then you'll see some very, very heavy people
right.
who are extremely overweight and they're trying to run on a treadmill. And I'm like, and they're trying to lift heavy weights. And I'm like, they're going to burn out. Right. Instead, just start walking. Just get up every day and say, I'm going to walk 5 days a week. I'm going to get up. And even if it's 3 days a week initially, and just walk. And then build up your stamina. You know, if you want to get your heart rate up a little bit, because there's this new thing out now saying that if you walk, if you go do 30 minutes, do 3 minutes at a very, easy, casual walk where you're not out of breath. And then for 3 minutes, pick the pace up a little. So walk a little bit faster, move your hands, walk up an incline. And then 3 minutes, slow it down.
Circuit training,
and then, and then 3 minutes.
That makes sense.
That's what you do. But initially, don't even try that. Just go out and just walk.
Just do it.
Just walk and then just calorie deficit.
Yeah.
So you have to know like how many calories you're consuming on a daily basis.
That's always the tough part because we all know that we're doing too much.
Right. Well, here's an example. Let's say you're consuming 3,500 calories a day. Right. Well, bring that down to 3,000. That's 500 calories.
Yep.
Over the course of 7 days, that's 3,500, right?
Wow, yeah.
That's 1 pound.
Yeah.
So if you don't consume more than you're taking in,
that's it.
Plus you're walking and you had that caloric deficit, you're going to lose some weight.
Yep.
So, but people get discouraged because in the beginning, they may be eating pretty healthy and they're cutting out the sugar and all that, and they lose weight pretty quick. But then there's a time where you're not losing that much. Be consistent with it. Be consistent. I used to tell my sales reps all the time, PCP, be persistent, be consistent, and be patient.
That's it.
PCP, persistent, PCP.
That's the acronym.
That's a good one, though. Yeah,
PCP.
But it's not a bad thing.
But I think you're right, and this has just become like a good talk on for guys our age, in their midlife, because don't be discouraged. God's not done with you yet, right? And I think another thing, and Joe, you could chime in too, is that there's something about getting, breaking that sweat, pushing yourself. There's something that happens mentally, even spiritually. I'm not going to say that I was clinically depressed, but you go into depression. You go into like in a cycle that you're not doing anything. You want to do something, you don't do it. You feel bad, and then you act out as far as like food or whatever. Yeah. It breaks that cycle, right?
Yeah, no, it does. I mean, just getting outside, some fresh air, the sunshine. I mean, that's how you get your vitamin D. Yep. That's really important for you. Not on a day like today, but today's still a nice day. You go walk as long as you don't get caught in a storm. But yeah, I mean that's it. I mean, just trying to be consistent with it and just start, small. But going back to you, as far as your situation, when did you get married? When did you?
Me and Amy got married in May of 1992. We were high school sweethearts. We started dating in the senior year of high school. Yeah. She was dating my best friend, and he was, they were okay. They were friends, but I liked her more than he did, I guess you could say, or he was just not, mature or whatever, or he didn't know what he wanted to do. And so we dated after they broke up.
Right? Good for you.
I swept her up.
Yeah. Yeah, we can go into a whole story.
Well, we know Amy.
That, right?
No one's going to Amy. I wouldn't say sweep up Amy. She's a very strong. She's a character, and she's just a blessing to my blessing to my life. Yeah. I mean, oof.
Yeah. So you guys got married. So you got married in '92. So same time as mine. I got November of '92. So You got 3.
3 kids.
Right?
Yep. Mickey, Katie, and Ben.
Yep.
And we got him. We got married young. I was 22, and we had all the kids by the time we were 35. I'm 55 now. So now we're in a different phase, similar to your phase. The kids are kind of more independent. So it goes into...
And your birthday is...
Next week.
Yeah, it's coming up.
October 15th.
Yeah,
I'll be 56. Oh, thanks.
And I'll be 58. So...
But, doesn't it look good? It looks good. Again, now we're going to a different season, and Amy reminds me and challenges me, here is where... And not to be negative about it, but it's like really, and other people have mentioned this, people that are probably more aware of, scientific stuff. And the time you spend now, 50 to like maybe in your retirement age, is really where it's going to make a difference in the future after your retirement, right? So I have to get back on the ball. And it's great that we're talking about this because this is something I wanted to do and get back on there. And again, it goes back to the S, spirituality. So how does that work? What I've found in my life, I don't think I've ever was officially probably diagnosed with ADD, but I have some tendencies. I think that's some of the things. And for me, I think I really need...
Well, back when we were kids, it wasn't even...
No, you just...
stop doing that. I definitely have it too, but it's...
But they were like, stop doing that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. So it wasn't like it is now. But I think what helps, and again, in general, I think it helps anybody, is having structure, discipline. And I think the less self-control I have in some areas of my life, it also affects other parts of my life, right? So if I don't have a more discipline and having a goal as far as my physicality or what I'm gonna do with that, it's gonna bleed into my discipline of spending time in the Word, praying. So it's all wrapped up. It really is. You can't. It's not just one thing and then. So I think that's my challenge for the year, is to, as I work on my outside, I need to work on my inside. And also been very involved in church. That's one thing that me and Joe, like Joe said, we known each other back in the day. We were going to the same church, and it was years ago. And it was a blessing because...
What year did you start going to Cornerstone?
Oh my gosh, good question. It was 1998.
98, yeah, so 26 years? Is that 26?
Oh my gosh.
26 years ago?
Yeah. So we've been very much involved in church, different churches. My wife in leadership, and I was in the music ministry, which I love. So now being in the middle age, or
27 years ago.
Yeah.
27.
Later middle age is, now we have the opportunity to speak into the other generations, the new people, young people, and doing things like this. We've learned through life experiences.
It's
right?
fun, and again, if we can help some people, a lot of times I'm thinking to myself, is this really doing anything? Does anybody even want to hear this? But then I'll get people come up to me and they'll say, hey, I really enjoyed that post or that video or that, the Maps Journey podcast that you did. So it encourages me to keep doing it because, the two most important things is and the two most hardest things in the world to do too. Number one, love God the way we're called to love God. I mean, was all our mind, soul, and strength. Our heart, yeah. Well, the bottom line, love God that way. And that's hard to do completely. And God understands that. He knows. Right. But, you want to make the effort. And then the other thing is to love people. It's hard to love people because people let you down, people hurt you, and people will betray you. And, sometimes intentionally, but more times unintentionally. You don't even realize they're doing it. And that's something that I've experienced, these last several years is that, friendships, family relationships, they change when things in your life change. And sometimes if you sit back and you reflect on it too much, you'll find something wrong with everything, and you can't do that. You got to just keep moving forward, know that God has you here for a reason. And if you can help some people along your journey, that's what's important, because when we get to heaven, I believe one of the things that God will do is he will connect us with those people.
What a blessing.
That we help them along their journey, and it might have just been a brief time that you helped them and you forgot about it, but when you get to heaven, one of the rewards that I believe God will do is bring us together with those people and reflect back on that time oh yeah, that's when you came into that person's life. That's when you helped them. It's not, how many watches you sold or, the IT stuff that you did or how many accomplishments you made in this world.
How many downloads
all the different things. That's nice, but all that stuff goes away.
Right.
That does, but what you did for God and what you did for people, that will stay for all eternity.
That's right.
And that's the most important thing. So you gotta, when you're feeling down, when you're feeling discouraged, and I felt that way today. I even told you today, I didn't even want to do it today. Just discouraged about a few things. I'm like, I don't even want to do this. It's a gloomy day. Yeah. And, I was like, I don't want to do this. Who's going to want to listen to this? But hopefully, what we're doing right now, somebody, even if it's one person, we'd love to hear from you too.
Yeah, for sure.
If even one person is encouraged to say, you know what, God has me here for a reason, and I'm encouraged by what we're talking about, to know that keep moving forward, keep working on your mind, the mental side of it, your attitude, your physical well-being, and your spiritual well-being. Work on those things and make baby steps. Don't think like you have to do everything in one day. Just keep on working at it. Keep chipping away. And then what can you do for God?
Right.
Well, the first thing is to have that relationship with God. That's the most important thing. Spend time. God wants you to spend time with him. He wants you to open up the Bible, to read his word, pray. Just develop that relationship. Deepen that relationship, because as you draw closer to God, he draws closer to you.
That's it.
And then
he'll meet you.
Yeah, and then every morning wake up and say, like you said, prayer of thankfulness, gratitude, and then ask God, what can you do today for people? What can you do for God?
Yeah.
And ask God to connect you and bring people along your journey that you can help them on their journey.
Right.
And again, it could just be a simple greeting at the coffee shop, encouraging somebody, picking up the phone when someone's on your heart. That might be God telling you to pick up the phone and call that person. And that call might just be what encourages that person that day. Maybe they were really depressed, and you make that phone call and you just let them know, hey, I'm thinking about you, praying for you. Invite them out for a cup of coffee, or hey, let's get together and go play pickleball or whatever it may be. You never know what that one brief moment of time, that your time, to pick up the phone or send that email could make a difference in someone's life. So.
No, and I think that's so powerful. I think Amy always is, she reminds me, it's easy to stay in your little bubble, right? And you talk about loving people. That's part of it, is that you've got to, first of all, God's going to meet you where you're at, and God's going to meet you, because what we're talking about is you're not trying to white knuckle the whole thing. You're going to give it to God, and you're going to take that baby step. And we believe that he's going to meet you where you are.
Yeah.
He knows what you're going through. And so as far as loving people, it's so easy to be in your bubble. If you look around your table while you're eating, they say, people say this is not, it would be great. It's a good thing to have people at your table. In other words, people that the people that are in your sphere, that maybe don't agree with you, maybe don't believe in the things we believe, but that's where we're called to be, is a light in the darkness. So I think, and also that helps us to stay soft, a heart to stay soft, because in this world, with everything you see out there, it's so easy to be cynical and hard in your heart. And that's something else we could pray about every morning, right? Please soften my heart, keep me soft, keep me pliable for you to use. No, it's amazing.
Yeah, true. And then, with all that said, find time to have fun. Find time to enjoy your family and friends. Sure. And I saw yesterday that you guys went somewhere.
Comic-Con.
What is that? That's like...
It's officially a comic book convention, but it's more than that these days. It's blown out.
I want to go to that.
Dude, it's so much fun.
I want to do that. So next year, I'd like to go to
that. Go to Weehawken and take the ferry over.
Was it at Jacob Javits?
Yeah. So we just take the ferry right over.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be fun to do.
So basically, it's like, it used to be like for like comic book collectors. It's not like any kind of show, film, TV, anything with. It's basically a huge advertisement for any people's projects with this. So it's like you see a bunch of stuff there.
And
so
did you like any celebrities, so-called
celebrities?
You could.
Yeah, there is actually.
I don't like to even use that word, celebrities. It's like,
people that in the
people who
industry.
are known on
entertainment.
Yeah.
So, and this is not sponsored by Comic-Con, but so you can do these panels and talk to people that are having films. It's almost like not not quite the high. It's a lot of things going on, but in some ways, it's like one of those Cannes festivals or something where people they're going to show like trailers, they're going to talk about their films, and it's that and all the stuff like, graphic novels, whatever. So it's really cool. And Amy dressed up as a character that the kids love, this thing called Lunette. It was a show, Luna and Molly, on PBS or something, on Nickelodeon. And she dressed up just because, and she brought so much light to people. People like, here's the thing, and I didn't think about this. I'm just doing this off the top of my head right now because it touched me. She was playing a character from a lot of people's childhoods. And the way you saw people change their face, because we're talking about the city. If you're not from the city, if you know, right? So people are pretty, you're hardened because you're kind of protecting yourself. Their facade dropped. And they saw Amy, it reminded them, we know it did, of their childhood. And they were like, oh my gosh, Lunette. And people were screaming, thanking her, took pictures with her, and we were just blown away of this character.
That's awesome, man.
And the lady that actually played Lunette was there.
She was there.
And Amy took a picture, and we're like, we can't believe this.
I think I saw that one, that's one I saw.
But again, like Joe said, have fun, get out there. And it's just been a blessing to be able to share. I'm not usually on this side of the video camera, but it's been great to have a conversation with you. And we want to continue doing this. And we'll have a lot more coming. Again, like Joe said, if you have any questions or if you want to reach out, we'd love to hear from you and what your thoughts are.
And you got to like it, you got to subscribe, right?
Like,
all that stuff.
subscribe.
Subscribe.
Also, Legacy Walk.
Legacy Walk is coming up, so
Maps Journey Walking Club.
Well, hey, if anybody wants to walk along with us on that
reach
day,
out to Joe.
We can do that. But I'll be posting more about that. So if you want to help donate some money towards Legacy Minded Ministries,
it's a great ministry.
That'll be posted soon. But I mean, and if there's anyone, like maybe you know of somebody that's gone through some things in their life, and they could be an encouragement to some people.
We'd love to have them.
Yeah, we'd love to have them on to interview them and talk about their journey. We have several people that we already have on the list, but if there's anybody that you think would be somebody that you would want to share their name and their information or have them contact us, just reach out to us and we can maybe have them on as a guest sometime. But, this is it. I just wanted to take this time to get back on track. Yeah, well, thank you. Couldn't happen without you. I wasn't doing this on my own, that's for sure. So, we got the Bean doing his thing, so... thank you everybody for tuning in, and we're out for now, but we'll be back, and Maps Journey.
That's it.
Stay encouraged, keep seeking the Lord in all you do.
Take care.